Hello and welcome back to Cool English with Ilham. This lesson is a part of Tenses series, another comparison between two lessons, the present perfect and the past perfect. If you are ready, let's start. In this video, I'm going to go over the comparison between the present perfect and the past perfect. Note the form of present perfect. We have auxiliary to have in the present plus verb in the past participle. Auxiliary to have, we have I have, you have, he, she, it has, we have, you have, they have. The past perfect we have had, which is the past simple of verb have plus verb in the past participle. The past participle is the third column in the list of irregular verb, whereas in regular verb we have to add ed. Now in the affirmative, we have short form. In the affirmative form, we have short form and long form. For example, I have finished, we say I've finished. This is normally in spoken English. He has finished, he is finished. He had finished, he'd finished. In the negative form, we have I have not finished, I haven't finished. He has not finished, he hasn't finished, and he had not finished, he'd not finished, or he hadn't finished. بالنسبة للpresent perfect لا فورم ديالو هو has ولا have plus verb في past participle. I have, you have, he has, she has, it has, we have, you have, they have. بالنسبة للpast perfect had plus verb في past participle. past participle هي لا كولون تخوازيام في لا ليست ديال irregular verb. أما في regular verb كنزيدو ed. بالنسبة لهنا كاينين long form and short form. نقدروا نقولوا I have finished mais c'est mieux spoken نقولوا I've finished. He has finished, he's finished. He had finished, he'd finished. I have not finished هذه في لا نيغاسيون كنقولوا I haven't finished. He has not finished, he hasn't finished. He had not finished, he hadn't finished. We use the present perfect to talk about an action that started in the past but are still true now. For example, I've lived in Casa since 2010. It means that I still live in Casablanca. كنستعملو present perfect في واحد لاكسيون اللي بدات في الباسي مي عندها علاقة بالبريزون. مثال I've lived in Casa since 2010. c'est-à-dire من 2010 حتى لدابا أنا عايش في كازا. في حين إلا درناها في الباسي مثلا I lived in Casa in 1999. c'est-à-dire دابا مبقيتش عايش في كازا. إذا present perfect توجور واحد لاكسيون بدات في الباسي عندها علاقة بالبريزون. Also we use present perfect when the time is not mentioned. For example, I finished my work. كنستعملو أيضا present perfect في واحد الوقت اللي هو ماشي محدد vague. تنقول I finished my work ما كنعطيش واحد الوقت محدد إمتى، في حين أن في الباسي كيكون واحد time expression I finished my work yesterday كيكون واحد الوقت محدد. Also we use the present perfect when the time is recent. For example, I've just finished my work. كنستعملو present perfect في واحد لاكسيون اللي يلاه سالات c'est-à-dire récente. Now the past perfect. We use it when we have two actions, one is before the other in the past. For example, after I had done my homework, I went to bed. كنستعملو الباست بيرفكت ملي كيكون عندنا دوز اكسيون في الباسي وحده قبل من الاخرى. باش نعرفو لاكسيون اللي قبل من اللي الثانيه كنستعملو في لاكسيون الاولى الباست بيرفكت وفي لاكسيون الثانيه الباست سيمبل. وهذا كينفعنا باش نعرفو الكرونولوجيكال اوردر ديال لي زاكسيون. Also we use the present perfect to show cause and effect. For example, she was tired because she had worked hard. كنستعملو ايضا past perfect باش كنعرفو دوز اكسيون. لاكسيون الاولى كتكون cause ولاكسيون الثانيه تتكون effect وهذا غنفصلو فيه مزيان. مثلا عندنا هنا because هذه اللي كتبين لنا cause and effect. دونك لا cause هي هذه في الباست بيرفكت والeffect هو هذا. Now we use the present perfect when we have some keywords such as for, since, ever, never, just, already. For, ever, never, just, already, we use auxiliary, these keywords, and then the verb. For example, I have never smoked. I have never smoked. We have here, never, and the verb in the past participle. Also, we use it when we have yet. It is all the time with negative form. Recently, lately, so far, and how long. كنستعملو present perfect ملي يكون عندنا هاد keywords. For, since, ever, never, just, already, yet, recently, lately, so far, and how long. Now for never, we can use it in present simple or present perfect. بالنسبة لnever عندنا في present simple وعندنا في present perfect. هنا ما كاينش إشكال. الاختلاف اللي بيناتهم أنا ملي كنديروها في present simple سيتادير واحد l'action habituelle في البريزون، في حين أنا ملي كنديروها في لا فورم ديال present perfect واحد l'action اللي بدات في الباسي عندها علاقة بالبريزون. We use the past perfect when we have two actions with some keywords such as after, as soon as, until. We have the first action in the past perfect and second action in the past simple. Also we use it with before, when, by the time. But here, the opposite of the first rule. We have before, second action in the past, and first action in the past perfect. بالنسبة past perfect كنستعملو after, as soon as, until. عندنا دوز اكسيون، الاكسيون الاولى كنستعملوها في الباست بيرفكت والاكسيون الثانيه في الباسي. مع بيفور وين باي ذا تايم العكس، الاكسيون الثانيه هي اللي كتكون مع بيفور ورا بيفور عاد الاكسيون الاولى في الباست بيرفكت. Now let's see the difference between since and for. We use since to talk about the point when an action begins, whereas with for we talk about the duration or the period of time. For example, I've worked as a teacher since 2002. I've worked as a teacher for 20 years. بالنسبة للسيس كنستعملوها ملي كيكون عندنا منذ 2002 سيتادير منذ هذاك الوقت اللي هو في الباسي حتى الآن، في حين أن فور كنحسبو المدة من 2002 حتى لدابا 20 عام، دونك كنديروها مورا فور. So now I'm going to explain the cause and effect in both present perfect and past perfect. Now see, okay, this sentence. I'm tired because I already work hard. Here we have already, it's the key word of present perfect. So the answer is, I have already worked. But this is not the only reason why we have used here present perfect. We have cause and effects. I'm tired because. So this is, okay, the effect of this cause, which is working hard. Now let's see in the segments of time. We have I'm tired because I have already worked hard. Now what is the present perfect? It is an action that started in the past, the focus is in the present, or the result is in the present. So the result of working hard is tiredness. Is this clear? So when we have here present and we have cause and effects, we use present perfect. بالنسبة لهنا في هذه الجملة هنا عندنا I'm tired because I already work hard. دونك كاين اللي غيشوف already غيدير present perfect. بي هذه راه ماشي لا غيزون الوحيدة علاش درنا هنا present perfect. عندنا هنا cause and effect. Cause and effect we have here I'm tired حيت ديجا خدمت بزاف، داكشي علاش درنا هنا present perfect، لأن عندنا هذا هو الإيفكت بسبب واحد الكوز اللي كانت قبل. دونك ملي تكون الإيفكت في البريزون ولا كوز كيكون في الباسي، دونك هنا هو لو طون ديال present perfect. Now the same sentence we have it in but in the past simple. I was tired because I already work hard. We have here the same sentence but with slight difference. Here we have verb to be in the past. I was tired because I already work hard. We have already here. So some students may be confused because we have already here. So they may have to use present perfect, but we have to use past perfect. Why? Because we have cause and effects in the past. Now let's explain better in the segments of time. We have I was said it is in the past here. It is an action in the past because I had already worked hard. So here we have two actions. It means cause and effect. So we have to use past perfect in the cause and past simple in the effect. دونك بالنسبة للجملة الثانية عندنا هنا نفس الجملة ولكن كاين اختلاف بسيط. هنا عندنا to be في الباسي cause and effect ولكن عندنا الباسي. بالنسبة لهاد already أغلبية التلاميذ في الدوزيام باك كيديروا present perfect وهذا خطأ. علاش؟ لأن عندنا cause and effect في الباسي. دونك إلا جينا نشوفو هنا هو الباسي أكسيون قبل منها اللي هي cause. دونك كنديرو الباست بيرفكت لأن عندنا دوز أكسيون في الباسي وحدة cause and effect. دونك القاعدة كنديرو الباست بيرفكت في الكوز والإفكت كنديرو فيه الباست سيمبل. Now here if we have cause and effects in the and we have a verb in the present we use present perfect. If we have cause and effects the verb here in the past we use past perfect. إذا ملي يكون عندنا cause and effects والفعل هنا في البريزون كنديرو present perfect. عندنا cause and effects والفعل هنا في الباسي غنديرو past perfect. Now let's practice. He lives in Canada since 1999. So here we have since. We have to use it in present perfect. He has lived. He waited his friend for 2 hours. We have for here. He has waited his friend. I just finished my homework. We have just here. So present perfect. I have just finished. So just is between the auxiliary and the verb here. I'm tired because I already work hard. Even if we have already here, but we have cause and effect. The verb here is in the present, so we have to use present perfect. I have worked hard. بالنسبة للpresent perfect هنا درنا has lived حيت عندنا since. He waited his friend. He has waited حيت عندنا for. Just is a keyword تا هو keyword ديال present perfect. just هنا كنديروها بين الأوكسيليار والفعل. بالنسبة لهنا عندنا cause and effect عندنا الفعل في البريزون دونك كنديرو present perfect. Jane do homework before she go out. We have before. Before we have past simple past perfect. ردوا البال هنا عندنا before اللي مورا before غنديرو الباسي واللي قبل منها نديرو past perfect. So the answer is Jane had done her homework before she went out. دونك هنا عندنا before درنا الباس simple هنا والجملة اللي من بعد درنا الباس perfect. Last month the workers didn't stop strike until the boss agreed to raise their wages. We have here until. So after until past perfect and the other sentence should be in the past simple. So the answer we have the workers didn't stop. The boss had agreed. He didn't go to school because he had an accident. So here because cause and effects, we have cause and effects because we have here because. So here we have past simple. We have to use past perfect. He had. بالنسبة لهنايا حيت عندنا because حيت cause and effects درنا الباست بيرفكت. أيضا حيت هاد الكيورد عند لو طون هنا خدنا في الباسي he didn't. دونك had l'auxiliaire to have في الباسي و had هو الباست participle ديال have. لاحظوا أن هنا عندنا because عندنا البريزون درنا present perfect هنا عندنا الباسي درنا past perfect. Now let's see also in national exam how these lessons is given in national exam. So in 2012 national exam of 2012. I bought recently my daughter a laptop to help her with her studies. دونك عندنا هنا recently هما عطاها لنا recently. I have bought. I have recently bought. national exam هذا ديال 2012. دونك هاو الكيوردز هنا اللي حفظتو غادي يبان لكم. I buy recently. دونك عندك recently غدير present perfect. 2009 national exam. He just published a book on study skills. We have just. Just. It's a keyword of present perfect. He has just published. بالنسبة لهنا هي just keyword ديال present perfect. دونك هنا في 2009 عطاونا هذا الكيورد. دونك كنديرو هنا present perfect. present perfect هو has اللي verb في past participle. 2011. It's the best story I ever read. دونك هنا عندنا it's the best story. عندنا هنا البريزون وعندنا ever فاش الكيوردز ديال present perfect. I have ever read. دونك غنديرو ever بالأوكسيليا والverb في past participle. I have ever read. 2015. Amin worked hard as an engineer before he immigrated to Canada. So here we have before, we have past simple here. So here we have to use past perfect. He had worked. دونك عندنا في national exam 2015 هي before keywords ديالاش ديال present past perfect pardon. دونك نديرو past simple هنايا ديجا عطاوها لينا وهنا غنديرو past perfect. 2013. Yesterday Laura went to the English club after she finished her homework. عندنا after غنديرو هنا past perfect. had finished. 2015 كتشاب كورس هنايا الدورة الاستدراكية 2015. Tony worked as a taxi driver before he migrated to France. We have also here before. We have here past simple. So here we have to use past perfect. So I had worked. I hope that you understand these lessons. See you inshallah in next video.